Unit 8, rational expressions and functions. Factor completely. Okay, this is basically just guess and check. You need two numbers that multiply to give you 25 that add up to 10. That's x plus 5. Another way to write this would be x plus 5 squared. Okay, 64. Make yourself life easy by always going for taking out the GCF. So what goes into 4 and 36? That's 4. X cubed and x to the 1, that's x to the 1. Now I divide. 4 divided by 4 is 1. x3 divided by x1 is x squared. 36 divided by 4, negative 36, is negative 9. And x divided by x cancels. And now what I have here is a difference of two squares. So I'm going to go one step further and factor out square root of both, 1 plus, 1 minus. And I'm finished. This one again is guess and check. I need two numbers that multiply, give me 20. 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. That add up to 9. And they're both positive because this is positive. If this was negative, they'd both be negative. Because both those numbers would still multiply to give me positive 20. And last but not least, again, get greedy. What goes into 2, 22, and 36? 2. What's my smallest x I can pull out? X to the 1. That gives me x squared minus 11x plus 18. Don't forget this 2x. Now I'm factoring two numbers that multiply give me 18 that add up to 11. Well, again, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. There you go. 2 and 9. Like I said before, 2 times 9 is positive 18, but so is negative 2 times negative 9. And they have to be negative because I need a negative 11 in the middle. That's as far as I can go. Now, the rest of this section, you're factoring, factoring, factoring. Always. So this, after we guess and check, is going to be x plus 4, x plus 1. This, difference of two squares, x plus 1, x minus 1. X plus 1 is going to stay. This, again, difference of two squares, x plus 4, x minus 4. And then the games begin. Anything on the top with anything on the bottom, but that's it. I cannot cancel these two x plus 1s. Can't go side to side. Now I can cancel one of those with this one. I can cancel this x plus 4 with this x plus 4. And what I'm left with is what's on the right side right now, x plus 1, x minus 1, which I could rewrite as x squared minus 1 if I wanted to, but you can leave it. No reason to spend the time. Over x minus 4. Okay, I'm going to pull a 2 out of here and get x plus 4. I'm going to pull an 8 out of here and get x plus 4, which is going to cancel. In fact, I can cancel right now. Now this negative 3 can go into this 9 negative 3 times. X cubed can cancel with 3 of those. Now when you're doing this, be careful to check carefully every single section to see what's left over. If you need to circle it, go ahead. Negative 3 times 2. Negative 6. No letters on the top. I have an 8. Don't forget it. And then I have this x to the 1. Don't lose it. And now I just want to reduce these and get negative 3 fourths x on the bottom. The x has to be on the bottom. Okay, now this one, there's a few things you can do. You can change this multiplication and flip this now and then factor. Or you can factor first and then flip. It's up to you, whatever your brain needs to do to handle this. I personally just go to rewriting it right here. And I'm going to move this down here. So when I factor this, I want 5 times 3, and they're both negative, even though I just wrote 5 and 5. They're both negative. Now, if you need to do that up here first, and then move it down, go ahead. Now, for this one, the 6x squared minus 18x minus 60, I need to pull a 6 out to make it easier to factor. So that's going to be x squared minus 3x minus 10. And now, 6 days, I need two numbers that multiply to give me 10 that differ by 3. Well, that's 5 and 2. And I want more negatives, so it looks like that. Here, I want to pull out an x squared and get x plus 3. Sorry, x minus 3. And then on the bottom, I can pull out a 3 and get x plus 2. Remember, in a practice like this or a test like this, you're going to want stuff to factor. At least one thing, and cancel, I mean. So this x plus 2 will cancel with that x plus 2. The x minus 5s will cancel with each other. The x minus 3s will cancel with each other. And now I'm just left with x squared, 6, and 3. And this 3 will go into that 6 2 times. So I'm left with 2x squared. Moving on. I can pull 3 out and get x plus 2. This is going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. Difference 2 squares. This section is all about factoring. Times the 4x plus 12 is going to go on the top. And I'm going to pull out a 4. On the bottom, I'm going to pull out a 6x and get x plus 2. Let the games begin. X plus 2, x plus 2. X plus 3, x plus 3. This 3 will go into this 6 2 times. Don't lose this x. And this 2 will go in that 4 2 times. Don't lose this 2. And don't lose this. So what's left on the top? 2. On the bottom, an x and an x minus 3. Now, number 71 is no different than 69 and 70. It's just written differently. You can go right to the division, or you can rewrite it like this if it makes you more comfortable. And then do your flipping. So, x cubed over, I'm going to factor, difference 2 squares, x plus 2, x minus 2, times x plus 2 over 7x. Now this x plus 2 will cancel this x plus 2. This x right here will cancel with one of these, leaving that. And I'm ready to go. I can't do anything else. So that's x squared over 7, parentheses, x minus 2. Again, this one, if you want to go right to it, 2a plus b. I'm pulling a 2 out. Here, x plus y, x minus y. Times, remember, the x plus y is going to go on the top from switching, and the a plus b is going to go on the bottom, which makes sense because that's going to allow me to cancel, leaving me 2 over x minus y. Okay. LCD. We want to look at the denominators, 4x and 3x squared. First, look at the numbers, 4 and 3. What's the first number they go into as you count by 4 and 3? 4a, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. And then x and x2, you always want to go for the bigger exponent. Remember, when you're factoring and pulling out, you look for the smallest exponent. But when you're trying to find an LCD, a multiple, you want the biggest exponent. Now you ask yourself, what do I need to multiply 4x by to get 12x squared? And that would be 3x. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. 3x squared, what do I need? I need a 4. Bottom and top. Now, you just distribute. 7 times 3x is 21x. 4 times x plus 2, don't forget the parentheses, is plus 4x plus 8. Now, if you want to, you can write 12x squared here, and you can do it every step along the way. And if you're forgetful, I suggest you do that. I personally just put it on at the end, but don't forget, this is your new denominator. It's got to be in the answer. A lot of people in the test did not do that. They just did the top. The top goes over the LCD. So here, that's 25x plus 8 over 12x squared. Final answer. Now, what can x not be? Excluded values. Well, what's going to make the denominator 0? Only if x is 0. I can plug any other number in and square it, and I'm fine. But 0 will make the bottom 0, and we can't have that. Okay, again, we need a factor. X plus 3, x minus 3. We already have an x minus 3 over here, and we have one here. The only thing we need is x plus 3. And that's only on the right side. So I'm going to multiply this by x plus 3 and x plus 3 here. Now be careful. Change this to plus to make that a negative 4, so you remember to distribute a negative 4, not a positive 4. Very important. So I have 8x. I have minus 4x minus 12. Combine like terms. That's 4x minus 12. Now, some of you might want to leave this right now and go, oh, x plus 3, x minus 3, I'm done. And that's all well and good, so that right now you can see that my two excluded values are plus or minus 3. But we're not finished, because the 4x minus 12, I can pull a 4 out. Now, there's good and bad to both of these ways. These cancel, leaving me with just 4 over x plus 3. Now, this is an extra step, putting the x plus 3, x minus 3 there, but it reminds you that these are both excluded values. At the same time, people forget to factor the 4x minus 12. The problem with the right side, if you went right to that and didn't do the excluded values yet, a lot of times people look at this and say, oh, excluded value is just negative 3. No, you've got to go back to the original. And that's both plus or minus 3. Okay, always factor. 5, x minus 6. 7, x minus 6. Hey, look, they have an x minus 6 in common. But the 5 and the 7, we need a 35. So all we need here is multiply by 7 and 7, and 5 and 5. So we distribute 7x minus 28. Be careful, we have a minus. So I'm going to make that negative 5. Negative 25x plus 65. Join like terms. I get negative 18x. 65 minus 28 is 37. I can't do anything with any common factoring there. And so I am finished. And what can x not be? It just can't be 6. And remember, all we do here is set this equal to 0 to find out what that would be in our head or on paper. And that's what it can't be, because it's in the denominator. Okay, here we need to do a factor, 2x and x. Now, it's not just factors of 6 and put 6 and 1 in because we got this extra 2 here. Okay? So when we're guessing and checking, we got to be careful of that. So this is going to be 2 and 1. And you can FOIL it in your head and check it. 2x times x, 2x squared. no mistake. 2x. Let's try this again. Oh, this one problem is really getting me. 2x and x. Now, factor the 6, but it also got to work with the numbers inside, the parentheses already. So I'm going to try a 3 and a 2. Now, one's got to be positive, one's got to be negative, but I want more positives. So where do I get that from? This is 4x, this is 3x. I want the 4x to be positive and the 3x to be negative. So there we have it. 2x minus 3 is common to both. And x plus 2 makes the LCD. So my right side is good. I just need an x plus 2 right here and x plus 2 right here. So I'm going to distribute 3x squared plus 6x plus 3x plus 6. Join like terms. 3x squared plus 9x plus 6. I'm going to pull a 3 out. X squared plus 3x plus 2. And now this will factor to x plus 2 and x plus 1. All over 2x minus 3, x plus 2. Now at this point, here's where you want to identify your excluded values before anything cancels. Negative 2 and positive 3 halves. Remember, add 3 divided by 2. But look what happens. For my final answer, these cancel. So what I'm left with is 3x plus 1 over 2x minus 3. That's the most simplified answer. But remember, the excluded value is not based on this fraction, it's based on this one. LCD is simply just x minus 9, x minus 1. So this side needs to be multiplied by x minus 1, top and bottom, and this one needs to be x minus 9, top and bottom. Don't forget, this is negative, so be careful with that. Now we distribute. If we FOIL x minus 1, x plus 1, you should know that's x squared minus 1. Because the plus 1 and minus 1x drop out. Minus x squared plus 9. All my x squares cancel out. Oh, this is 9x, sorry. Negative x times negative 9 is plus 9x. So I'm left with 9x minus 1 on the top, and x minus 1, x minus 9 on the bottom, and my excluded values come from there, 1 and 9. Okay, if these were your denominators, your LCD, remember this factors the x plus 3, x minus 3, so your LCD would be x plus 3, x minus 3. Here we need to factor these two and those two into 2. So this is x, both 4, and they're both negative. And here we have x plus 4, x minus 4. So my LCD, be careful with this one, I actually need 2x minus 4s. And positive x plus 4. Notice the difference between A and B. Here, we had x plus 3 in each of them, so we only have 1 in the answer. But in this one, the one polynomial alone requires 2x minus 4s. And that's why we have to have 2 in our answer of the LCD. All right. I believe the last page of this one section. Okay. Here we go. Now notice we have equals. Now the denominator is going to go bye-bye. But don't forget when you have a 1 here, 1 underneath the 5. You have a whole number like that, put a fraction in a 1 to remind yourself. Now, what's my LCD? It's x plus 3. So I'm going to multiply this entire thing by x plus 3. Now you can write it once like this, or you can write it, I don't have a lot of room here, you can write it here, here, and here. Now, what's going to happen? On the first one, it's going to cancel with the bottom, leaving you just 2x. On the top, the second one is going to be minus 5 times x plus 3. Equals, again, here is going to cancel and just leave you 1. So I'm going to distribute my negative 5, 2x minus 5x minus 15. That's negative 3x minus 15 equals 1. Add 15 to both sides. That's 16. Divide by negative 3, and yes, we get a fraction for our answer. And that's okay. All right, here, our LCD is x plus 8, x minus 3. Now what we're going to do is multiply by x plus 8, x minus 3. But notice those cancel. I'm going to do the same thing here, x plus 8, x minus 3. What happens here? Those cancel. So what I'm left with is 5 times x minus 3 equals 6 times x plus 8. I will subtract 5x and get x. I will subtract 48 and get negative 63. All right, over 1. My LCD is 3x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply by 3x plus 1 here, 3x plus 1 here, and 3x plus 1 here. I know it's hard to read, but that's why I'm talking also. The x plus 1's cancel here, leaving me 3 times 3x. The 3's cancel here, leaving me 2 times x plus 1. Equals, nothing to cancel here, so 3 times 3 is 9, x plus 1. This gives me 11x plus 2 equals 9x plus 9. Subtract 9x, I get 2x. Subtract 2, I get 7. Divide by 2, x is 7/2. This factors to x plus 2x minus 2. So my LCD, looking at what I've got, is x plus 2x minus 2. Well, when I do this, x plus 2, x minus 2, the x plus 2's cancel, leaving me 4 times x minus 2. Here, x plus 2, x minus 2, the x minus 2's cancel, leaving me 2 times x plus 2. And here, both cancel. So I'm just left with 2. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. If I add 4 to both sides, I get 6. And when I divide by 6, I get 1. Remember that's over 1. And remember this factor is x plus 2x minus 2. Which is my LCD. Good thing to always write this down real quick. Keeps you on track. So I'm going to multiply by x plus 2x minus 2. And my x minus 2 cancels. So I get 2x times x plus 2. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is, 4x. Equal x plus 2, x minus 2, cancels. Just straight up 16. Plus x plus 2, x minus 2 here is going to be x plus 2, x minus 2. But remember, I already know what that equals, so I'm just going to simplify right now. X squared minus 4. I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides and get 1x squared plus 4x. 16 minus 4 is 12. Let's subtract that over and get 0. Now I just factor x, x. Two numbers that multiply give me 12 that differ by 4. That's 6 and 2. I want more positives, fewer negatives. So my solutions are negative 6 and 2. But look at my directions. My directions also said, if there's more than one solution, state the sum. Well, so far I've had 1 every time. That's my answer. Two answers, negative 6 and 2, and when you add them together, you get negative 4. LCD here is going to be simply 12x minus 1. So I multiply both sides by 12x minus 1. Here the x minus 1's cancel, I get 4 times 12. On this side the 12's cancel, so I get x plus 1 times x minus 1. Hopefully at this point you recognize that's just x squared minus 1. Otherwise, if you want to, go up to the side and FOIL it, and you'll find out the inside terms drop out, and you get x squared minus 1. Well, since I don't have an x, I don't want everything on the same side. I'm going to move the 1 over. That gives me x squared equals 49. So my answer is, and I'm going to write 7 and negative 7, because I want you to remember there's two answers, and I have to do the sum, which is 0. I could have also written it as this, plus or minus 7, but I want you to remember that you have to add those both together to get 0 for an answer. And that is it for that unit.